Welcome to the New Normal Podcast. I want to tell everybody thank y'all for tuning in. Today we will be having a call-in show. So if you want to call in and talk about the issues that we're going to be talking about, or the hot topics, or the trending topics, y'all make sure y'all hit that call-in number and talk to your boys. We would love for y'all to call in. We got some controversial takes today. We're going to be talking about, if you see at the bottom of your screen, Shedeur Sanders. We're going to be talking about, what up, Brad?
B, what it do?
We're going to be talking about Shedeur Sanders. We're going to be talking about the age controversy. And I'm going to let y'all know what I mean when I say age controversy. We got those two topics on the docket for today. Chris, how you feeling today?
I'm feeling excellent. Y'all see I'm repping the king. Shout out to Malcolm X. We got this Shedeur situation, like I said, people try to minimize things as trivial as a draft, but it's a lot of symbolism and it's a lot of messages that are sent and received in these processes that people just, I don't think they take serious. You had, I forgot, it was a book, I want to say, that was written, and that was likening how the NFL draft is similar to a slave auction.
And that's the conversation me and Brad had the other day.
You see what I'm saying? There's a lot of that going on with a lot of things we do, to where, like, I seen recently.
Hold on, so I'm gonna stop you there.
Okay.
So Brad said we can't call it slavery because they're getting paid millions. You think people can get paid to be a slave?
See, my thing, even though you're getting paid, doesn't mean you're not being in control, because it's as easy as they can pay you, they can stop paying you. Right. And they can come up with all allegations that you owe this, so it'll be like you never got paid.
Yeah, because that's the same thing when we talk about welfare. Maybe, like I said, what they said, the people that can feed you, the same people that can starve you.
Yeah, like I said, it's not so much as the money, it's because with this money that I'm paying you comes my terms and conditions. Right. You can't wear this, you can't say that, you can't go here, you can't mention this, you can't, get on platforms. You can't. I think a lot of them, you can't even have your own platform if you're playing. The only athletes we're seeing being able to do this is Angel Reese in the WNBA. But you look at the NBA players, NFL players, if they're active, they can't have their own media where they go on and critique the things and the games and stuff like that.
Now you said something. I don't think about it as an active player has something like
that. Ain't only WNBA.
Well,
Angel Reese.
They gonna get them.
Yeah, but I'm saying, male, you don't see, you can't do that until you done.
Right.
Because I think a lot of the exploitations, a lot of the loopholes, and the underhanded business will be exposed.
I agree. If y'all watching, y'all make sure y'all like the video, make sure y'all share the video, make sure y'all follow us on all social
$40 million slave. Yeah.
On all social media platforms. Today we're talking about Shedeur. Now I'm gonna ask Chris, why do you think? Okay, first of all, is Shedeur a top 10 draft pick?
Yep.
So why do you think they took so long to draft Shedeur?
I think it's overall is politics, and it's more so a power, because you don't have, if you look at all the teams in a sport, every team is not equally equipped, equally staffed, and equally funded. Mm-hmm. So some teams say, I need that. Mm-hmm. So you look at this process, the way you look at Shedeur's stats, that man was like pretty much should have been in the running for the Heisman last year. Like when you look at his performance, just overall collegiate performance, he's dominated. He has the numbers, he has the wisdom. So they're talking about this interview where he came in unprepared. That's untrue, because his dad is prime time Deion Sanders, and that's the issue. And we got a video that's gonna kind of expose that. You see the Archie Mannings, and they don't want to bring these people up. Well, Baker Mayfield, you see what I'm saying? A lot of other players were able to say what they want, move how they want. I think he pulled like an RV or some shit. Oh, Baker Mayfield, he did some crazy grandstand and won a thing.
I just think about like Johnny Manziel.
Johnny Manziel, he come from money.
Yeah.
Same situation. So they try to say he need to be humble. I don't really believe in the humility to a degree, but when I look at Shedeur, he's just not overly doing it.
Okay, so we're gonna start right there. I'm gonna play this video, and then I'm gonna give you my take about the humbleness.
Okay.
Hey, big guy. What's going on? Hey, look. You doing all right? You gotta let my brother have his way in the league. Yeah, you gotta. I'm worried about your pop. So, how you doing? What you worried about him for?
Okay. So that video, why he worried about his pops?
Yeah.
Why he worried about him?
Again, if you're not, only the greats get attacked and get put in a position where I have to show I have dominance over you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? If he was just a mediocre, they wouldn't mention his dad. I'm worried about. He's not worried about your pops because pops is a threat. Because pops can come in and coach in the NFL in a minute.
See, my thing is when I kept seeing all the humbleness talk and his dad is saying too much, I was hearing that only from people like us. I didn't see that from a scouting report. I didn't see that from a commissioner. I didn't see any of those things. Only people I seen that coming from was from black people telling them they should be humble. And I think that kind of go back to the idea that you don't want to rock the boat or you don't want to say too much or you're trying to get into these positions. But if I had to say when I look at the draft, and this was my take on it. I just didn't think it was nothing about race because black people are highly triggered, especially when it comes to race. Racism is a $1 billion industry. I think the NFL knew, hey, we're gonna hold out Shedeur a little bit longer. We're gonna cause all this uproar. Nobody watches the 4th and 5th round, but we got more eyes watching the draft now. And then you're gonna get drafted to a team that I know you don't want to go to, like the Cleveland Browns. So that's gonna make even more news. Gonna help this small market out because now people are going to watch where you go and what you do with the Browns. And the Browns has been considered a cursed team.
Mm-hmm.
So you got all of these things that play a part. I just think the NFL held them out longer just to cause controversy. It was about the money. Like I said, it helps the smaller markets. I don't think it had nothing to do with race, even though a lot of people try to make it about race, even though you had a lot of black people. Cam Ward, #1 draft pick, black man. Now you could say on the opposite end that he don't rock the boat as much, or your daddy ain't here to be Showtime or take the spotlight like a LeVar Ball or something like that. But at the same time, like I say with the NFL, I think you need that showboat. I think you still need that tenacity. I think you need that flashiness to play a sport that's so violent like that. I think you need that.
I think it's going to be very, very rare where a lot of money is involved where race does not play a part. And I'll tell you why I say that. Because being humble, when they say you need to be humble, is code for nigga act right so they can pay you some money. Do what they say so they can pay you some money.
I agree.
Be a good black boy. Be a good old boy and don't rock the boat. Imagine if all of these you got these NIL players coming in. They coming in making $6 million. So you have a message, even if you go to Tennessee. You're seeing now the new standard, and you got if you can look at the NFL draft and the commentary and go look at how people speak on the NIL deals. It's almost similar because now I got a bravado and the confidence, but I'm worth millions, and I don't really have to conform as much as I would if mama and them was still in the hood.
Mm-hmm.
I got mama out the hood my sophomore year.
Yeah.
So I come in with more leverage. You look at Lamar Jackson. Well, I can negotiate my own deal. I don't want no small headaches. I want my mom to do it. They made a big deal about that. So it's very rare that you get a $1 billion industry and race is not the issue. You look at the real estate markets. You look at a bunch of things where they inspect your house at $200,000, your white neighbor at $400,000, and your house bigger and got more amenities, etc. But just the fact that you black, you'll get a lower inspection rate.
So do you think it's more about race? Because if I got Cam Ward #1 and I got Shedeur in the 5th round, what does the race come into play?
Well, again, the race is more so for the dominant males out of this bunch. Who's coming with a backing? Cam Ward came in. Who he got behind him? He ain't got a prime.
But see, the thing is, if that was the case, why draft him at all?
I mean, now the talent has to speak. We're not saying Shedeur should have went #1, but you're talking 3 rounds again.
But I'm saying for us, if we're gonna talk about just racism and like I said, you need a person that's gonna be the good buck. Why draft that person anyway? Because the NFL still gonna go on with Shedeur or without Shedeur.
Yeah, but I'm saying when you look at these teams, every team ain't equally funded. So this team said, man, I want to get Shedeur. So we know it was some collusion there to say, hey, hold out. We're going to hold them out. Because you're talking 3, 4, 5 rounds.
But at the end of the day, if we could collude, if everybody come together and say, hey, we part of this NFL collective. I don't care how bad you need him. We said he ain't drafted.
Okay, so I take
if that was the case, Colin Kaepernick was good enough to play on a lot of the teams that he was looked over. Now, is that not true?
Absolutely, but this is the thing. If you look at anything, let's take football out of it.
Okay,
you look at majority owners of the football teams are what?
White.
Yeah. If the majority owners were black and it was a white quarterback, it would be made about race because the majority and the power structure that's saying, hey, do this because we want to make money, want to do this, want to do that, is white. or whatever that majority race is. So they're controlling the narrative on how he need to come out, how he need to be selected. When this team said, "Man, I really want to get Shedeur. We lose. We need that power on my team," but I'm being told not to for whatever politics. We got to. The race card is present.
It's kind of hard for me to say that when I look at these leagues and I can't help who own the leagues. See, that's the thing. Like it's kind of hard to say racism is an issue when I see people like Kyrie Irving during COVID and they got to sit out and make apologies because he promoted a book.
Yeah.
And if he says, "Hey, let's start our own league," and then these niggas they got billions of dollars, well, we do got the money to start our own league, but you don't start it. You can't be talking about, I don't want to hear nothing about Black Wall Street, all of that bullshit. Now it's time for you to start your own shit. You got Ice Cube, 3-on-3 league, making some money. Like I said, if you wanted to start your own league, you could have. So racism can't be that big of an issue if you continue to be on the rat wheel over and over again. For them to be talking about racism, and we had a Donald Sterling, we had Colin Kaepernick, we had all of these things. That's why I say be fake outrage, because you're going to talk about, you're going to protest, you're going to put Black Lives Matter on here, y'all going to take knees and shit, but then the NFL and the commissioners and these team owners going to sit back and be like, well, how many billions did we count this year? Oh, this is our highest grossing year of all the time. You mean with all the racial shit that go on and all the people that's in the stands, all the Black players that play for y'all and the families that, support y'all still making all of this money? So if it's hard for me to think racism is a real thing, looking at the people that support the quote unquote racism.
Yeah, but we got to understand it's two different class of Black people. We got people that don't want to let this system go. So under their understanding, they don't see a world where I'm not.
What you mean when you say system?
So if you take, let's say, your Malcolm and your Martins.
Okay.
Malcolm didn't want to integrate.
Right.
Martin did. So the people that followed Martin, they don't know a life without working for a white man, without being told what to do by a white man, without conforming to everything.
They don't believe they can be self-sufficient.
They can't. They don't believe in it. Then you got another one that do, but they may not have the resources, or they may have ostracized themselves away from people that got resources because, I don't want to do that. I can't. You see all time and time again. I got to step away. I can't be associated with him because he did something. They say he did something. I don't want to get in trouble like him. We see that all the time.
Yeah, but like they say, people that change the world aren't people that conform.
That's facts.
And so even with Malcolm and Martin, even though they had different approaches, both of them were doing stuff that was basically non-conforming in their times, so to say. I guess if you go into like the background, so that's another thing. But like I said, for what they were doing, marching, protesting, going against the quote unquote white power structure or white supremacy or white privilege, they were actually going against something and being different. That's why we still speak those guys' names to this day. Because men that change stuff and men that become great do not conform. And so when we having these type of conversations, that's why I say it's kind of hard for people to say, when I get on Facebook, racism, they don't know what it's like to be a free Black man. How he a free Black man? Y'all can say 1 minute racism, then they don't like a free Black man, but then the Black man get drafted, looks happy to go play in this racist system, but he's a free Black man that wants to go start his own shit, but he want to go back and play in the racist system. Well, you get what I'm saying? Like,
let's take them out of it, right?
Go ahead.
Let's look at it from a reaction standpoint, from the fans, the viewers. When you see these Black fathers coming to play hard like LeVar Ball, you ain't seen a Black father come in strong like this without the certain type of criticism yet.
I don't think I ever seen, honestly, I don't think we ever seen a Black father like a LeVar Ball.
I'm gonna tell you, you have, but guess who a Black father like a LeVar Ball? Dale Curry. Do you see Dale Curry on any platform talking cash?
I don't.
Why not? Why?
I don't know. Maybe they don't put him out there like that.
Why the media don't bring him up?
See, does he do antics like LeVar Ball?
See, that's the thing. LeVar Ball, they would call what LeVar Ball do is antics when he just speaking highly over his children. Dale Curry speaks highly of his children. Look, he got 2 kids in the NBA. One is one of the greatest, but you don't even see them bring him up because he doesn't stand in a certain frame of pride when it comes to his children, like a LeVar Ball. But when LeVar Ball do it, and
he gives more of an arrogance.
Again, when LeVar Ball do it, it's a problem. When Deion Sanders do it, it's a problem. Archie Manning, no problem. When Brady's son come up, you think they're gonna be talking about Tom Brady? And I guarantee you, Tom Brady gonna be in the gap like a head coach on the sideline, and they ain't gonna say a word to him.
Yeah.
We both know this. So when we see these and we can identify these double standards, we know the race card they play.
Yeah, like I said, I don't know, because I could put Dale Curry out there too if he stands up and speaks like that and let him and put it in the media, because
what would be wrong if he did that? If I speak my child is this, that, and the third, what's wrong with it?
Nothing at all.
So why is the response to say be humble and shut up?
I'm just gonna say this: when people always bring up the Mannings, Tom Brady's, and stuff like that, I personally, and this might be because I've never really been a big football fan.
Yeah.
I honestly have never seen them just say anything about their children.
Media, dog. They said it. It's plenty of stuff out there.
And if they have, it might have been in the context, it might have been in the way, because you got to think as well. Even when you see LeVar Ball speaks, he speaks with a smirk on his face, not to say about the arrogant manner. It's like, I know this is going to be shock jock. I think, and this is why I say that him doing what he did, I don't necessarily think it was race. I know you're gonna say it was race. I think he did it to keep spotlight on his children. I'm going out here, gonna say this, gonna be outlandish, I'm gonna be inflammatory at times. I'm going to say this because I need the spotlights to be on my children at all times. And I do think that helped them be where they are today with the spotlight that he brings on them himself.
But I'm saying this might, like
let's think about it. He said by himself he could beat Jordan.
Okay.
Those
it shouldn't be a problem, is my point. I'm not saying that, but when you look at how them white media responded to him when he was on, I think he had the exchange with Malik Hiram.
With the shifting gears forward.
Yeah, and it was another one exchange where he was talking about they was critiquing Alonzo Ball. It was a game, it was some of his stats. But if I speak this way, whatever way that is, I'm entitled to my opinion.
You are.
You don't have the right to tell me to be humble or none of that.
So the media
was the issue.
So I'm asking you, was the media saying that? To
For
LeVar Ball, because like I said, I didn't even see that where it was like LeVar, like most of the time that we even with Deion and like LeVar Ball, like they were saying Deion shot his son, shot himself in the foot by saying there's only certain teams I want my son to play for, just like the Mannings did. Yeah. So the difference is, let me tell you the difference. Now you can say it's race. The difference is, I didn't told y'all ahead of time. And I done told y'all on draft night. These are two different type of scenarios of how it lined up. So my son get drafted. I said, oh, no. You ain't playing for them. Instead of you announcing it now, you out here telling the NFL when you want your son to be drafted, we got to give you something. You want something from us. See, that's how I look at stuff. It's the leverage. You can't keep saying, well, my son ain't going to play for. Nigga, I don't give a fuck who, black, white, other. Nigga, you ain't finna come here and dictate nothing.
I understand that. Okay, so let's say
nothing I do.
Let's say a fan or his little cousin said that I don't want my big cousin playing for the Browns in this. They wouldn't have made a big deal. So he can say what he want. That holds no weight because he's not a part of the organization.
But your cousin and stuff ain't as big as the influence as your daddy.
Okay, so if he earned his stripes. If you earn your stripes and your keep, you have the right to get LeBron James. Hey, Bronny, you playing for me? Mm-hmm. You playing on the Lakers? When you earn your keep and you build yourself up. I got Travis Hunter. He got about 4-5 people in the NFL. Right. He done brought them people from Mississippi, Jacksonville to Colorado. Mm-hmm. Life changer, and what he did for the league, generating the money he generated for the NFL and Nike. I get to do this. Shaq get to do this. Kobe get to do this. Mm-hmm. If Jordan's son would have walked in his footsteps, they get to do that.
So then what's the issue with Deion then?
Because he is a black man with that understanding that he can do that, but they don't want him to do it because it's going to send a trickle effect. Again, these boys are coming with, if you think about the personality them boys got now versus before they met Prime and that then developed their game and then got it into the NFL. Mm-hmm. If this becomes trendy, these people coming in the NFL 19 going to the draft with $6 million in the account already. I don't really have to conform as much as I would if mom and them was still in the hood and I was just getting lunches on the road.
This is where I think I disagree. And the reason I disagree because I know a lot of these guys, even with that $6 million that they put in their pocket, that money already gone. And we've seen it time and time again. NFL players, football players, what they say 3 to 5 years after they get done playing, they bankrupt or they going broke. We didn't see it. They're trying to keep their lifestyle up when they was playing, when they was making all the millions of dollars. So you talk about these kids that's already, you got to think about it. when they getting $6 million NIL deal, let's hypothetically say you play 4 years, you're a star athlete, you get $10 to $12 million. Your family's so fucked up, $10 to $12 million is gone.
If it depends on the person, I'm saying, because everybody ain't coming from poverty.
Right. But just going by what we know about people that get to the NFL level, NBA level, that makes hundreds of millions of dollars, that we done seen your Mike Tyson, $250 million in your career. Bro, we done seen Antoine Walker say, I made $110 million in my career. Bro, we done seen people that make hundreds of millions of dollars in a career as an adult. 30 years old, retiring as an adult. Mike Tyson is still out here boxing again. So when you say that okay, yeah, I ain't got to do it because I got 6 million, I got 10 million, that money gone.
It could be. I'm just saying the level and the mindset is going to be different if I come in the draft with 6 before you say anything about a contract to me. My urgency is a little different. My bargaining power was a little different. Because if you say, but we want you to play this, because they'll change your position. You say, hey, I want you to play this, man. I want to. You see Travis, I want to play 2 ways.
Yeah.
If I can't play 2 ways, I'm gonna retire. He want to play 2 ways. The one that ain't got shit and had, let's say, 25 years ago when they weren't getting under the money table like that and all of that. Whatever you say, boss. I just want a spot, boss.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
Or they got more of an urgency because, just like I said, you done seen 6 million hit your account and you done seen it go quick. So now it's like, oh, I need to go and play because I done had this money, I done lost it. I don't want to do this again. I gotta go out here and sack some folks. I gotta go and hit some touchdowns. I gotta do whatever these folks say because I done seen this money come and go.
Now, I was just to push back, I would give on that because this is why I think they will fare better, right? Mm-hmm. I'm 18, 17 coming into high school. I'm number 1, number 2, top 10 in the country. I'm coming out the gate, $1 million NIL deal, and I got to go to school for 3 years. Mm-hmm. They're understanding. Then you got to have the parents involved because, well, by the time you get 18, you can do your own thing. But a lot of times they have a strong circle to help them manage this money. So you didn't made this money for 3 years. By year number 4, you didn't got accustomed and you didn't understood the money to where it's not really an urgency to blow it now because I done had it 3-4 years now.
They don't have no strong circle. That's why a lot of these people still be going broke.
But we ain't seen the NIL players come out yet. This the first.
But we still talking about kids.
Yeah, I'm saying by the time you get year 4, you ain't looking
to. But did you hear what I said? I said Antoine Walker, 110 million.
But he ain't an NIL baby. We talking about the NIL baby.
And that's what I'm saying. This is still something new.
Yeah.
But if we could just go, if we had a barometer that we could just measure that we done seen from the NFL and NBA, we done seen people make hundreds of millions of dollars with quote unquote financial, even people that supposed to have these people like Rihanna talking about she had a financial advisor, still stole her money. The chick that took the money from Eddie Murphy, quote unquote financial advisor, still took the money. So even if they supposedly had these good people in their corner, these people are still fucking them because they don't know that much about money.
Well, we can't talk about them being victims of financial crime.
I'm just saying
that could be a possibility.
But I'm saying, when you talk about the circle, you got to talk about all. You can have a circle, but it may not be a good circle. You can have a circle and you don't know what's going on with the money. You can have a circle and say, "Oh, my mama said she gonna hold the money for me." Then come back after the season. Mom, you didn't spend all the money. Oh, that's why all these cards and you got a new house with. So the idea of these people having these quote unquote circles or even a good circle is few and far between because the barometer that's been set before us is the NFL. Is the NBA. We didn't see what these niggas did. And you got to think about it. These are people around more business people. We ain't talking about no college kid that got to go to class. He ain't seen no business mean. He ain't taking no financial classes like this. These are just dudes. Hey, like you said, I'm trying to get my mama house. I'm just trying to get out the hood. I'm just trying to get out the, I don't give a fuck about nothing else. I really ain't. And to be honest, we know that most athletes ain't that fucking smart.
But again, I think, like I said, after you've been in the from just strictly football, right?
Okay.
After you've been in the league or playing college football for 2-3 years, and because you shit re-up every year.
Yeah.
You didn't went through this, and you're maturing as well. Because let's not act like Deion ain't putting wisdom in these high-level coaches. It ain't just about football. It is character development as well. Right. So you're around other people who are now in the same stratosphere as far as money, and y'all having talks. Hey, we ain't gonna do all of that. We ain't gonna do that. I see it's a kid down here already got businesses going with the NIL money. It's gonna be different with this go round. That's my point. This is the first wave of what we seeing. So you think, this ain't gonna be your I ain't had shit all my life, 22 years, $100 million. Of course, you're gonna crash out Jamarcus Russell that played for LSU. I seen the my man like 7 chains on.
Yeah.
2 weeks after he got drafted. Of course he gonna blow it. But I've been playing with a little money since I was 17. I'm 22 now.
So you're saying since they get to play with the money a little bit longer.
Yeah, and you're around others who doing this as well. Cause I ain't gotta take care of my teammates. Everybody around here, it's 5, it's a 6 friend group. 3 of them got NIL deals. 4 of them maybe. Then you got the people who coming in. I'm saying when these people matriculate and retire out, they're not going to be as frivolous and careless with their money as the ones who went 22 years with nothing and all of a sudden got a big bag dumped on them.
I think time will tell.
Yeah.
Right now we speculating, but like I said, we would just use if I could use the $100 million compared to the $6 million. I know $6 million. People think that's a lot of money. It's actually life-changing money.
Yeah.
For people that know what to do with it.
To know what to do with it, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because honestly, if you honestly make around $110,000, you could if you know what to do, you probably could make that twerk and do something.
Yeah.
So, like I said, it's really about the know-how when it comes to money, not necessarily how much you spend. Because, like I said, we just seen Mike Tyson, Evander Holyfield. We just seen so many people, quote unquote, go broke having hundreds of $millions, and that's insane to me. But I guess if you Holyfield go buy the Holyfield Estates, when that Holyfield house Rick Ross bought.
So, for $6 million, and that's why I say it's always gonna be a balance of scale. Because the same way you got your Mike Tysons, you got your Kawhi Leonards. Yeah, $20 million contract driving a '96 Tahoe.
But I agree.
See,
but how many of those do we have compared to the other ones?
The dude in the NFL can't pull up in the Honda Accord. You're gonna start seeing more and more of this,
right? But
Major League Baseball.
But how if we had to put it on the scale, that's Kawhi's probably a 2, maybe a 2 out of the nigga with the orange collar, and then Kawhi's probably a 2 out of 10.
You got a few people in the NBA that got some solid contracts. They're just not superstars in the limelight to know how they're moving. But you got a lot of them people that keep it cool. Brett Favre and them, especially the white guys.
But a lot of the white guys come from different circumstances than we do.
I know.
You ain't never heard of. Have you ever heard a white boy say, "I'm gonna get my mom out the hood. I got my mama house."
Yeah.
Because they mamas stay with their daddies, and their daddies take care of their mom.
Yeah, I'm saying we got evolution now.
Tom Brady's. When we talk about all those we're not finna see. We're not gonna see a lot of that. Even when we talk about baseball, a lot of those kids that play baseball, they got their daddies with them, and it's a different demographic.
Yeah, like I said, I think in these contracts, a lot of these people they're structuring these. Derrick Rose was one of the first. Derrick Rose, it was another guy. Hey, my cousin got to get $250 a year too. My uncle got to get $1 million a year. You see, Derrick Rose.
There was somebody else. I know who you're talking about. Somebody else.
Travis Hunter just did it.
He did
with Adidas. Yeah, it is with Adidas. So, like I said, I think you're going to see with these new generational young boys who are getting access early, they get more than access to the money. They're also getting the education and the mentoring from a Coach Prime, a Nick Saban, so many others who we just don't see in that space. We only see them when they're on the field.
Do you ever think we'll get to a point where in sports, us as black people would get so offended we just really say fuck it?
Yeah, pressure bust a pipe. It's gonna come to a head if
think so.
Depending on, because again, we're the only ones that are constantly regulating again, told to be humble, told to do this, told to do that. You can't do this. You can't have a sex life. You can't do that. After so long, it's like, you know what? I'm tired of you telling me what I can and can't do when I'm really the one bringing the money and the value to your organization. Right. The black people in the NFL and NBA make it go.
And see, that been my whole point about racism can't be that bad. Or there's a lot of niggas that really do think white ice is colder, because if you feel like these owners are racist, which I'm gonna be real, I do think a lot of them come from a lot of racist backgrounds.
Jerry Jones.
Yeah, but even did you hear that clip?
I heard a little bit of it, but I want to say
Jamie Foxx.
When it was like, these my players, or
he was like such and such. I forgot what player. And then that's when Jamie Foxx cut the video. He said, "Yeah, he walking around here with an 8-inch dick and all this."
Oh no, I ain't hear that one.
Yeah, it was in the stands. And then Jamie Foxx turned the video off real quick when he said it. And then they asked Michael Irvin about it. It's like, well, when y'all be doing the combines, they be measuring y'all. Do they be measuring y'all dicks and stuff like that? And then
they be doing all of that.
Michael Irvin said, "No, they don't do that."
They
Mike.
be looking. They had the dude who exposed was the girl that may have been in the on the Donald Sterling we was talking about when it was like he'll let fake reporters come in just to watch. It was I think it was an NBA player that exposed. He was like, who is this guy? He just got a media pass on, no microphone, just looking. That's all they did. I said, dog, come on, man. But like I said, I don't think you can ever remove racism from a $1 billion industry. It's going to be because it has to be order. If I let these motherfuckers come in here thinking they can run and who they ain't gonna play for, they already got the money, the name, the status. I can't control these motherfuckers. That's why we use that clip we just said. I ain't worried about him. I'm worried about your dad.
Yeah,
because your dad's still here and he's still present. He's still imputing that pride and that energy into you.
I was watching a clip. It's long, probably about 7 years ago. You know who Zoe Williams is?
Yeah.
So he was talking about his son playing quarterback.
Yeah.
And he was saying that basically, I don't want to say it wrong, but basically he was talking about how the coaches on his team wasn't used to a black father being so involved. And actually they prefer these players to not have a father in their life.
Because I'm your daddy.
Right.
The two things cannot occupy the same space. So if I have the clip we just played, I'm worried about your dad.
Yeah.
He can come in here and coach and get a hold of you and other players and get to talking a certain type of language.
Could be.
That's what it is.
I think you don't think they got something to mitigate against that?
It's always mitigation factors, but it's when you look at it, if certain shit catch fire, ain't no putting that shit out. It got to go out on its own. You can't do nothing. You got to let it. You got to tornado. You got to weather the storm.
Yeah.
Deion is a storm. Them folks gonna still be running to Colorado to play up under the man. He still got a good draft class. I mean, not draft.
So you think he gonna coach in the NFL?
Eventually, yeah.
So see that, like I said, if you think there's going to be an issue with Deion, and you say that was the commissioner, right?
That he was talking to.
Yeah, that was Roger Goodell, right?
Was that him?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know what he looked like.
So
yeah.
if you say I'm worried about your dad, and then you think that he's gonna get a coaching job, you ain't too worried about him going and saying stuff and being a coach of all these men, especially a lot of these college kids is gonna be coming up under him, worshiping Deion and got to say so and got the bravado that Deion had. You ain't worried too much about it.
Yeah. I think
see my thing is if you worried about something, I don't think they would allow Shedeur to play. I don't think if you was worried about Deion, I don't think you would allow him to coach. If you was worried about Deion, I don't think you would draft a Travis Hunter that's been sitting under Deion's tutelage and getting the wisdom that he got the understanding about how the game goes. I don't think you just allow that because you got to think about it. These three people are polarizing figures all by themselves. To where they get the mic, Deion don't even really say nothing. He viral.
Mm-hmm.
Shedeur went viral because they said Shedeur don't know how to. They were saying Shedeur don't have any media training because he stutter and he don't speak as good. He don't work. See, I think they was looking for him to work the room like his daddy do. Daddy got the swag and Shedeur. Well, that's Pops. He's like a kid kind of.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I think just these are polarizing figures.
Yeah, I think, like I said, it's the money still got to be made, so it'd be impossible. They didn't see Travis. They haven't booked really bad. That's why I say this like a soft breaking. It's not they haven't really just got F all them small. They ain't got that out of pockets. That's why I say this is soft. Because if it was hard, they just wouldn't have drafted them. They said we just gonna push it out. Hey, because you think you hot shit, we're gonna show you. Ain't nobody bigger than the program. This is all that was to show you. Ain't nobody bigger than the program.
Yes, I just think more so about ratings and got people watching. Like I said, you go to Cleveland, a smaller market, it's going to help Cleveland. I wouldn't want to go to Cleveland. I'm just going to be honest. Wouldn't want to go to Cleveland simply because Cleveland has been deemed cursed.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I ain't never seen no quarterback really come out of Cleveland. I don't care. They had Johnny Manziel. They had, what's the nigga name now? Joe Burrow there?
Joe Burrow is Cincinnati.
That's Cincinnati. What's the other white boy? I can't think of his name. He there. Now you got Shedeur going. Like Cleveland is not us.
Yeah, like I said, it's just a soft breaking. Because if I sent you to someone that's stacked and you show out, damn, Deion get a lot of that credit. And
Yeah.
it also say, oh, his son showing out like that. Everybody going to Colorado now.
Think so.
If Shedeur was to go to a team and they get stagnant, he show out, go to the playoff or the NFC Championship, AFC, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
This speaks to Deion's greatness 10 times more because now I done told you what I got. I'm bringing my luggage with me, and I go to the NFL. Now my recruitment class, my transfer portal wide open. The nigga got Shedeur in the NFL acting crazy. I'm going to Colorado. You disrupt it. This is bigger. That's why it's way bigger than NFL. This go from the NFL, NBA, NCAA. It's way bigger than what they showing on this TV. It's way bigger. This should go down to the NCAA. If he was to go and show out, everybody going on the Prime. That transfer portal, that recruitment. I want to go play for Prime. Look at what he did. Look at what he doing. Travis Hunter showing out. Shedeur showing out. Let's say Shiloh kick up and he starts showing out. I'm the black Nick Saban.
Nah, he ain't gonna be the black.
I'm saying on a scale, he would be like,
he gotta win some. He gotta put some rings on.
Yeah.
If he put some ring, I would say this: he put 2 rings on under him at Colorado.
Yeah,
you ain't gonna be able to say.
Can't say
it's
nothing.
Colorado. Who the fuck want to go play in Colorado?
That's right.
So to get people drafted to come out of that conference and to win a ring, hey.
It's crazy. He would. That's why I'm saying it's bigger than what we see. It's a whole. All these people. It'll be like me thinking. People. You got some people that think Burger King and Wendy's and McDonald's they just separate entities. These motherfuckers on conference call right now together.
Think so?
Right now. Hey, I'm doing the Whopper. I'm gonna do my special. What you doing? Are you doing the Big Mac this week? Okay, you gonna do your big. You bringing your bigger bag back? Okay, so I'm gonna run my ad on the first. You're gonna run. These folks are all in collusion, dog. If you look at a lot of the corporations in them, it's only like 6 corporations and it's just umbrellaed.
Right.
So it's the same owners.
When you look at the news media, they were talking about it's only 6 corporations, maybe like 4 that own like all of the media corporations that's the umbrella and stuff.
Because I get to control everything. Hey, I know I put Mac because again, they still across the street from one another. You got Burger King over here, McDonald's over here, Taco Bell. All these people in cahoots, dog. They got the same suppliers, same distributors, same logistics, same shit.
Next, we're gonna talk about this. Y'all make sure y'all like the video. If y'all want to call in. Let us know y'all thoughts about the Shedeur Sanders getting drafted. I think the 5th round.
5th round, dog. Yep, 5th round. Yep.
Like I said, Chris believe it got to do with explain what you feel now.
Yeah, like I said, because race is more. It's like it's different. It's people think it's just racist skin color. It's more than just that. It's the archetype of the person, or more so in this case, the male. As far as it's got to show a power hierarchy. So when you look at race, it's not so much I don't like the color of your skin. I don't like the dominance and the talent and the advantages you have genetically over me. That's what this boy is, lion and hyenas. It's never going to be a world where racism doesn't exist.
Here, let me read this comment real quick. This says Trump is now saying that he's the reason that Shedeur got drafted. The press secretary just released this statement today because of Trump's tweet saying that the owners were stupid for not drafting him.
Yeah, I did see him say that.
I seen him say that. I forgot about that.
I can't really put too much stock in what Trump said, especially when he said on Twitter and all that type of shit. We know
he's hyperbolic, but he's also businessman, been on TV. He know what to garner attention. That's the hottest thing that been on TV. Yeah. So now I gotta say, oh, they stupid for doing this.
Yeah.
That would be, like I said, that's one of the reasons we're talking about it, So, like I said, it's one of the hottest things right now. We know Trump, he's an attention whore.
Oh, yeah. He, like I said, the 48 laws of power at play, court attention at all times.
Yeah.
You have to. So, again, with this, is race is not so much, it's genetic, it's instilled in us. Because at any moment, you can impose your will on me.
I agree.
You hear people talking about white guilt. Well, black people really was the way y'all say angry in this, and we just wake up and all sit in the room. It's 8,000 people in here, and we just run a slideshow and show how we was treated, Jim Crow, slavery, etc. Say, and everybody is equally pissed. Everybody equally pissed. Hey, it's finna be some shaking.
Yeah, I agree.
So they can't let that happen.
I agree. So the next thing we about to do, that's it. Y'all make sure y'all like the video. Make sure y'all share the video. Make sure y'all subscribe to the New Normal Podcast on all social media platforms. And if you want to call in, make sure y'all call in. We're looking forward to people calling in. This is a call-in show on Mondays, Wednesday, and on Saturdays. We have the panel. I gotta figure out what we're gonna talk about Saturday.
I think I had one in the tub. I could go through my notes. I got some in there.
So the next thing I want to talk about is this right here. Is the age controversy. And the reason I want to talk about this is because I see a lot of people being hypocritical. And that is the main problem I have with this age controversy. And the reason I did this is because I had a post that I shared on my page. And I'm going to read the post really quick that somebody posted. I'm like, this is stupid. But, you know, people are allowed to post stupid shit all the time. So... far down. Maybe it is. Hold on. So this person on Facebook said this. The moment you start coming to my page to argue the legality of why you as a grown man should be able to date someone with preferential cortex who with prefrontal cortex that has not fully formed, I'm going to block you. The minute you tell me 18-year-olds are free game for you at 40 because they are legal, I'm going to assume you are a pedophile. And it's not a scratch either, because what is telling me is your morality isn't enough to stop you legally. Is this person wrote this so horrible? Is the only keeping you from dating younger. An 18-year-old ain't nothing but a 17-year-old with another birthday. LOL. There's nothing to no difference mindset wise in most 17, 18 year olds. Trust me, this person just wrote this horribly. But I'm gonna say this. I think it's stupid that we have these conversations, and this is based on responsibility. And the reason I'm talking about this is because we allow people that's 18-year-olds to join the military, go shoot babies in the head overseas, blow people up, fly drones, and drone attack people that they got nothing to do with wars. It's just because you signed up and you're trying to get a check. A lot of people, we allow 16-year-olds to get behind the wheel of cars, literal missiles, and kill people and wreck and kill their friends in the car, but they're responsible for their life and other people's lives. We allow people that 16-year-old to have children and call these people mothers, and these are the people that's raising the generation for the raising children for the next generation. And I think it's crazy that we stop at 6. 6 is the only issue when we talk about people that are 18 years old that they don't know if they want to have sex with somebody. I think it's dumb. And even on the opposite end, for a man to want to sleep with someone younger, if we talking about legal, the dude said in the post that he has an issue with the law being the only reason that is stopping you from doing something. And I got to say this, laws stop a lot of people from doing something. Trust me, if we was a lawless society, a lot more people would be committing crimes, a lot more people would be dead, a lot more people would be selling drugs, a lot of people would be out here doing whatever. Laws prevent people from doing a lot of stuff. What you think?
Yeah, like I said, it's all about preference. My thing is the same people that had an issue by age as far as a man dating younger, which you're gonna see more. So you got some men, but some women. Y'all ain't saying this when how old Al Pacino baby mama is?
Right. He 80 years old.
So I gotta ask, if we're gonna play that game right, at some point that means the pendulum swings as far as what's predatory. Because if this woman who knows she, destitute or whatever, trying to fleece a 60 and 70-year-old man, are we really doing a psychoanalysis on this man in his upper 60s, 70s, and 80s that you dealing with to say, hey, well, this dynamic is more so predatory on the younger woman? Can we say that's the same? No. The pendulum don't swing. So you telling me I'm 80 years old? I truly think this 28-year-old woman want me.
No, she don't want you. She don't want you.
So why is that not deemed predatory?
On whose side?
The woman.
Okay, I'm about to say it could be predatory on both people.
I'm 70 years old and 80, 60 to 80.
Yeah, it could.
And more so, in more cases than not.
The reason I say it could be both on, because we know the girl don't want, we know that the young girl don't want him.
Because we got to ask this one question. Said, oh, this is all we got to ask. How did y'all meet?
Right.
Let me guess. This 72-year-old or 68-year-old man pulled up on you at the hookah bar.
Hell no.
He pulled up on you in Target, right? He swooped down, dropping game on you, right? More likely you came on to him.
No, she probably met at the country club or something like that. Because I've actually been seeing a lot of white girls been trying to get game on TikTok on where to find a rich man. So one of the things they've been doing now, is joining the country club.
That's predatory in itself. You got TikToks
and
platforms that tell you how to find rich man. It don't say how to find a loving husband. It don't tell you how to find a provider male that you want to build a family. It say how to find a rich man. That's what we're gonna do. You know, I had seen they leaked the group text. I got to go back and find the rest of it. I went down a rabbit hole a little bit. 55,000 women was found in a group chat confessing and explaining how they were able to finesse men out of money. 55,000.
That shit crazy.
I'm gonna say it again. 55,000. So
we need to call it women cheat more than me.
Oh yeah, that's a fact. So I'm saying, so if I got game and channels and all of this, you got plenty of channels of women telling how to meet rich men. That's predatory because why you want them? Because they got money and you want to get some.
Right.
You ain't saying how to go get a husband and help them. You saying how to go get rich men.
Because women do feel like this. Women don't feel like they broke. They feel like they dating the wrong man.
Now, what if I came out with something and say, man, let me find you where to find the young dumb ones at that'll go. Y'all do I'll be counseled.
You will be counseled.
Let me find, hey man, they got these young 19-year-olds over here and they ready, man. Let me show you where they at. Let me show you how to get on these young, dumb 19-year-old cheerleaders in college. Let me make my channel about just that. I'll be labeled a predator.
You definitely would. And that's the thing. I think it's the hypocrisy. It's always going to be the hypocrisy because we now, and I think we should have put more, I guess, emphasis on it. Emphasis is not the word, but should have put more spotlight on this cougar epidemic because that's predatory in nature. And y'all ain't doing it but having sex. You got your Jalen Green.
Jalen Green, yeah.
You got your Bernice with Jalen Brown. You got to think about these are women that's 20 years older than these boys.
Aisha, Anthony Edwards, which we didn't beat plenty of times. So again, that's why I say, well, you're not meeting these guys in Target. You're not meeting these guys out and about. Their schedule is too hectic. The barriers to get to them is too hectic. If you see Anthony Edwards, LeBron, or whoever, James Harden out, it's about 4 or 5 people you got to get through before you even get to talk to them.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So look at all the barriers of entry that these people have to go through first to even get access to these type of people. You're not walking in Target and Walgreens and Anthony Edwards saying, hey, babe, what's up? You good? Let me talk to you. It's not happening like that. These women know where these men are at. They know where to go. Come on, man.
Let me put this on screen. Let's watch it.
Just thinking about the world that we live in terms of the podcast stratosphere and everything like that. A lot of people want to walk around thinking you can do what you want to do when you want to do it. You could your own operation. You don't have to answer to anybody. That's not true. I've had people open their mouth and they've said, Stephen A., you work for ESPN. What kind of control do you really have? This is my podcast. This is my YouTube show. I own this. But if you think for 1 second that I could just do what I want to do, when I want to do it, how I want to do it, and there's not going to be any repercussions, you're clueless. And you're destined to fail and fall on your face. I'm not talking about Shannon Sharp. I'm not talking about Shannon Sharp. I'm not talking about anybody in particular. I'm talking about a climate that we're living in. Some people sit up there and they look at me and they say, Stephen A. don't get himself in this kind of trouble. How does he pull it off? Well, first of all, there's certain behaviors and proclivities that you never have to worry about me engaging in. But most importantly than that, I often say this about Walt Disney. I'd rather work for a place with standards than one looking for them. thinking beyond myself, just thinking about the world that we live in terms of the podcast stratosphere and everything like that. A lot of people want to walk around thinking you can do what you want to do when you want to do it. You could your own operation. You don't have to answer to anybody.
So with that, go back to what I was telling you earlier with Shannon Sharp about a lot of these guys do think and feel as if they can do whatever they want to do. A lot of these guys feel like I done worked and did X, Y, and Z, put myself in these positions. Fuck it.
I get it. And we talked about this.
I ain't saying it's right. I ain't saying it's smart. I'm just saying this is a mindset of a lot of people.
This is a mindset of a lot of people. I do see why they would feel that way. And it's just one of those things where you have to learn. It don't really matter what you feel. Your ass can't do exactly you can't do everything you want. Look, you can do a little bit. You can't do everything you want. You can do a little bit, dog.
I agree with you what you say, but it's still crazy that people still think that they can do, no matter how we, like I said, we beating the dead horse at this point. You can't do what you want to do. There's law, like you would talk about the laws. There's laws put in place so people can't do what they want to do. But some people feel and get the ego and the big head that they can't be touched. People ain't gonna say nothing to them. I can run Rashad over and do X, Y, and Z. And like I said, I don't even want to talk about just the Shannon Sharp. I just put his face on there because we're talking about the age controversy and people feeling like they can do what they want to do. I think there are people that ain't got together, sat around the room, and I ain't saying they made the right choices for everybody or whatnot, made laws and did things and thought these laws, even though they are, the rules and the laws and the age sometimes are arbitrary. They thought it was a good idea. Now that every year they come out, they tell us that the brain taking longer to develop. Ain't no reason for a 16-year-old to be driving a car. Ain't no reason for a person that's 18-year-old should be able to consent. Ain't no reason for somebody to be able to drink alcohol at 21. Nobody should be able to go join the military and go be able to go and have PTSD because you had to go over there and do some crazy shit at a young age. Like, it's a lot of stuff. Like, even insurance. So many people are still staying at home with their parents at this point in time. They said this is the largest number ever in history of people still staying with their parents. You should be able to be on your parents' car insurance or insurance longer than, longer than 25.
Yeah, I think, like I said, it's a new development because, like I said, this is all intentional and by design. When you have, and this how wherever you have double standards, you right there must acknowledge there's a power dynamic. It's a power dynamic and it's disproportionate. Yep. It's not even. If everybody was same height, weight, complexion, eat the same food, everybody eat rice and chicken every day, everybody drive the same car, you either get a black car or white car. Yeah. You wouldn't have these issues. You only have double standards where there's a power dynamic. Right. So the people that don't have power are always trying to call out the double standard. Right. Those with the power, they pretty much just operate with the power. Yeah. You got people that with no power, none of that, telling you how you supposed to be moving and all of this. Right. Yeah, it don't really work like that. You either make the rules or you follow them. You can't be both. You either gonna make the rules or you follow them.
Hey, if you want to call in, y'all can call in right now. We're starting taking call-ins. I'm gonna put this comment on the screen right here.
Bill Belichick. Oh yeah.
Bill Belichick is 73 years old. His girlfriend is 24. When the reporter asked how they met, the girlfriend shut down the interview.
Exactly. And you don't see him at the forefront of nothing.
Well, like I told you, even with Shannon Sharp, if he would have went public with her, like they boyfriend and girlfriend, you wouldn't have had none of this.
I agree with that 100%.
I think that's the issue.
Yeah, that's the issue. And like I said, when you of that cloth, like a Shannon Sharp, you didn't build all of this. You got too much skin in the game. Yeah. To where you trying to have a GLE on the low.
See, that's
still
issue.
Tricking.
You can't like
it don't tricking and that don't go together.
Because if you can't already act like she your girlfriend, just make her your girlfriend, go public with her, and then they would have said, "Oh yeah, this is a young chick," but you would have been you would have had this. Yeah. Y'all would have been in public. They'd have been like, "Well, at least he treating her good." They would assume you been treating her good. They would assume that you housing her and spending money on her. She getting a new Chanel bag, Birkin bag. Y'all doing everybody would already base it off of sex. Yeah. nobody would just be like, oh my God, Shannon Sharp, when a younger. But now it's like, oh my God, you're paying the OnlyFans model that, sell a coochie to the world, and you doing all this, holding phone conversations and telling you gonna choke her and stuff like that. So it really just looks bad on somebody like a Shannon Sharp.
And even when your black platforms who are mostly speaking about the Shannon Sharp issue, they haven't even used Bill Belichick as a reference.
Right.
He ain't even brought up. And his age gap is way bigger than Shannon Sharp.
You're talking about 50 years with them.
50 and ain't even been brought up.
50 years.
He ain't been brought up, dog. Come on, man. So
crazy.
we know what that is. We know what that is.
Bro.
Al Pacino. Same shit.
Just think about this. Fuck the man. We already know why the man there. But you as a young girl, I get it. He a billionaire. But you as a young girl want to lay up under.
Which one? Bill Belichick?
Yeah.
He a billionaire?
Gotta be a billionaire.
I didn't know he was billionaire. Okay. He part owner?
Oh, Bill Belichick, the coach.
Yeah, you talking about Bill Gates.
It's the other one. The other one.
Oh, you talking about the Raiders. The owner of the Raiders.
The owner of the Raiders.
Yeah, he's 74.
Yeah, he got a young girl.
He just had a baby too with the girl, I think.
He did?
I want to say, yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah, he the owner of the Raiders.
Owner of Raiders with young girl. Hayden Hopkins. Yeah, he's Mark. His name Raiders owner Mark Davis, 69, and his 26-year-old girlfriend Hayden Hopkins have sparked talks of a money-driven relationship. She a bad white girl though.
Yeah, she right. She's straight.
She bad.
But yeah, that's why I say it's one of these things that you can't get around.
You want to be under these old men, and I ain't trying to. These old men ain't men that's been in the gym. Like, look at this nigga.
He know that. I think I said this is a common. Hey, I know I'm old. I know I got to pay higher way. They know this,
right?
So if it's consensual, I'd be crazy to think because they've been dating 2 years with the Shannon Sharp, where she can now just scream victim. You're a sex worker, one,
right?
And this relationship stands over 2 years to where we weren't even public. It'd be different if we was public, right, and it's confirmed that we rock it. So the fact that you keeping it a secret, I'm keeping it a secret. You ain't signed NDAs. You have all of these recordings. Right. This shows mad intent from the onset of you even trying to rock with me. It shows ill intent.
Right, because like I said, he was doing such abuse to you. You got these recordings. Why you didn't take it to the police? And
I want to say in certain states, it's illegal to record someone without.
I think that's what they were saying.
Without their consent.
Yeah, I think they were saying that. Hold on, I could look it up right now.
So, like I said, you got a bunch of these different you don't. Nah.
I don't know what they supposed to be illegal.
All victims are not innocent, and I use that term loosely. When you would tell me I ain't good enough because my shoes ain't clean.
It said in most U.S. states, it is not illegal to record a phone call if at least one party to the conversation is aware of the recording and consents to it, even if they don't actively agree. However, a smaller number of states require consent of all parties involved before recording the conversation. So it says state laws. While a majority of states follow the one-party consent rule, states like California, Florida, and Illinois require all parties to consent to recordings.
Ain't Shannon Sharp in California?
Probably, I think so. That's what they kept saying. It was illegal.
It shows.
Yeah, because they said she followed him from California to Nevada.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This shows ill intent. So I would have to ask you, why you this y'all were dealing with each other? Yes, we was. Why are you recording them?
Right.
Why is that not the question? What y'all was dealing? Y'all intimate? Y'all been intimate on more than 7 times? No issue. You ain't reporting us to the. Well, why are you recording them now?
And you know they've been more intimate, way more
than 7 times. I'm just throwing 7 out there.
Yeah.
Why are you recording him now?
Like I said, she a money grab. She was trying to get that money, play out of it. And like I said, it's sad. I don't see how we, like I said, we didn't flip everything on its head so bad. We allow people it was a time that sex workers never got the respect that they get today. We had a woman literally out here with a slut walk.
We did. And she going against that now. If you pick up
Right?
on her recent,
But she said she was going against it now because said she was brainwashed and all this stuff. But at the time, she had a slut walk, had women out there doing this motherfucking slut walk, and then when people was going out there to interview them, don't question me, don't judge me, bitch, y'all out here calling yourselves sluts. Anybody would think this behavior was crazy.
What you mean?
And
don't call me a police officer. So you got the police. You got a uniform on. I'm not a police officer.
That's go to jail for impersonating the police too on it.
Yeah, like come on, man. If I go out there with a police uniform, they're gonna say, "Help! I need you." I'm like, "Nah, I ain't no police. I'm just wearing the outfit. I ain't no police officer." But that's your badge number. Yeah, I got just a fit.
Right.
You see how crazy that sounds?
We allow society to be delusional as fuck, and we support the delusion.
And this is only in certain communities. In certain communities, you don't have this dysfunction, and we know what communities those are. Yeah. You don't, but those communities are the one that are the dominant and running the industries, from the sports to the media to the entertainment. You look at their communities, their women are not out here doing and saying all that shit.
I agree. I agree. And you gotta understand why a lot of people like that still stay in dominance, because people understand like family is so important, but like in our community, we don't think family is that important. We got people out here just fucking and then just say, hey, I'm gonna put you on child support and be fucking a new nigga for the new baby, for the baby born.
And I talk about this a lot with the black men and women are just so gullible and so easily controlled, where again, I can walk out of a store or walk by, so I ain't been in the store. Police officers can run up on me and tell me to put my hands up, you're under arrest and you're going to jail for stealing from this store. You ain't been in there, but we will comply so quickly and easily, knowing I ain't even been in this area. But I gotta do what you say to avoid losing my life. You see what I'm saying? We've been dominated to that degree. We don't question nothing. The jab. You had families breaking up over this jab.
Families was breaking up over that stupid shit. They was telling us we got to get a shot so other people's shot will work better.
within 6 months of development, like I said, man, I wish I would.
Did you hear what I said? They was telling people literally, you got to get a shot so that motherfucker shot will work better.
And then, hey, go get the booster and go get the boosters.
2 weeks later,
go get the boosters.
I've been third boosted.
Boost mode. I mean, like, do you see how crazy and easy we are controlled out?
Bro, how stupid you got to be for them to tell you, well, yeah, the strand mutates so fast. Well, bitch, y'all wasn't that part of the clinical trials? Y'all didn't think about that when it happened. And
then how the business is still operating, trying to, I would say, hey, you can come in, but you got to wear a mask. But how am I eating my food? Well, you can take your mask off when you eat your food.
Or we be in a line like this. If somebody in front of me, they have a loud, I was in Lowe's, they have a spot on the floor, say 6 feet apart, so people standing on the sticker, but the line next to me, we this close.
Exactly.
How does 6 feet? We still shoulder to shoulder, but the person in front of me 6 feet ahead of me.
Man, we stupid.
I just couldn't believe it. Like, I'm looking at this shit. You had people making the news because they was passing out while driving with their fucking mask on.
And you said, we had Saturday. We got some Wednesday. I think
we got some.
I got a good outrage Wednesday that I want to get into.
Bro, I just couldn't believe the shit that they was pulling over on us. They was getting over on us. People was getting fired. My job at the time was giving vacation. If you get a shot, we'll give you 2 vacation days. Niggas was getting it. Mm-hmm. I'm like, yo, hell for 2 days off of work?
Our cognitive processes and mental, what I would say, fortitude has diminished, and a lot of it, and you see these are talks now, it's the food. We're starting to have a conversation that they have overseas as far as the ingredients, the dyes, the red 40s, the yellow 5s, and all of this, the to where these, and you look at what I want to get into is childhood obesity. And not just the childhood obesity, just the behavior. We watch and share and see so many fights that get violent the way they fight the teachers, principals, coaches. They fighting everybody.
That fight came up again last year when they were talking about the lady ass can't.
Oh, yeah. I saw it.
It been recirculating. I'm like, dang, like we've already seen this fight last year, but then they had they had a lot of teacher fights last year. I don't know what was getting into them kids last year. They had the one with the fat lady with the glasses. She got the fight, taking the teacher out the door. I seen one. It was a coach. I just seen a fight. I might have seen it 2 days ago, 2 or 3 days ago. The dude was pushing the old dude like he couldn't walk. I'm gonna see if I can find him. But yeah, it was just a fight. Like it was this week, I think. Well, last week. But yeah, I'm like, dang, these kids fighting their teachers like this.
It's the diet, man, the brain, and they saying again ADHD, which I don't think is a real thing, but they're linking all of these diagnoses to diet.
Right. I agree. Like I said, even how kids be amped up. You gotta think about all that damn sugar that's in there. Like I was looking at a drink when I was talking to a dietitian. They said one drink is literally all the sugar in that one drink is what you're supposed to have in a day.
In a day, facts.
In a day. So when you think about people drinking 4 drinks in a day, you done drunk 4 days worth of shit. You gonna finna do this all week long?
And you eating Takis. Right. I know them chips, man. I seen the blue. I said, man, this look like paint on your fingers.
Yeah.
The blue Takis and they got out.
Yeah.
I seen the kids. I said, man, the kid fingers are blue like they've been painting.
Yeah.
I said, I know that's not that diet. Like, nah.
And we think that's supposed to go in our body. That's what's crazy.
Nah, dog.
That's what's crazy. But like I said, we ain't had no call-ins today. I want to tell everybody that thing. You got anything you want to say?
No, it's Outrage Wednesday, same bat time, same bat channel. Sunday we at City Walk with it from 11 to 5. I'm sorry, 12 to 5 for the Terrific Treats anniversary experience. So y'all come out. This weekend, like I said, this Cinco de Mayo weekend, gonna be a lot of events going on in the city. We're gonna be outside a little bit.
I ain't got nothing planned. I might step out this weekend. I ain't been out in a minute for real, like on the event.
It's been intense. I've been loving it.
Yeah. I ain't gotta run from getting shot at, no bullets and nothing like that. And, so that's always a good thing.
Yeah.
But I want to tell everybody, thank y'all for tuning in. Y'all make sure y'all share the video. If you're over there on Twitter and y'all been commenting over there on Twitter, y'all come over here on YouTube or Rumble and subscribe to the channel. That way we can see y'all comments on the screen and post them up there on the screen. Post on the screen and stuff like that. So just make sure y'all tune in. It's the New Normal Podcast, and we gone.